All right, hey everybody. I wanted to get a quick video in tonight, especially after last night's video and discussing the recent crash in the market and how a lot of the stocks that we've been looking at and watching have been dropping significantly over the past 3 weeks or so. Because we had a really good day in the market today. This could be a good sign of the kind of comeback or recovery. Or it could just be a bounce and we may see things drop again tomorrow. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see at least a little bit of red tomorrow after the day we had today, because it was a big day. But in any case, I thought it was a good time to kind of mention watching for these stocks now to be increasing again. It is going to happen at some point. And if you guys plan on, adding anything to your portfolio now or in the next week or two, is certainly going to be a good time to do that. And a lot of these stocks that dropped over the past 3 weeks have a lot to recover back. As I mentioned in the last video, I don't think a lot of them are going to fully bounce back to the peaks that they saw, a month or so ago, but they definitely will be gaining back some of those losses over the next week or two or three here. So just to start things off, I had a good day today. You can see my account is up to $40,544. If I click right here, you can see that my day's profit and loss is at $932.02. So that's what I made just today. So it was a nice day today in gaining some of the losses that I had over the past few weeks. So hopefully if the next few days even go well, we can kind of regain all of that back. And starting with, kind of like these ground level stocks right now, that can very easily happen. So some things to kind of go over today. The market was up. So here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was up 3.69%. So very good. Again, that's a big increase for one day in the market. Anytime you see that kind of green, it's going to be a good day. So that was really nice to see. Let's go back here. I'm going to show you guys some of my positions because that's really one of the things I wanted to talk about. And we'll look at maybe two positions kind of specifically and kind of touch on some key things to watch for and to look at. I want to show you guys these positions just because, I feel like I've done quite a bit of research on most all of these. Now, these aren't necessarily going to be guarantees. They're not all super safe bets. I do buy into some stocks that are on the riskier side, but all of my significant stocks typically are going to be stocks that I've done research in. They're going to be good growth and steady, consistent stocks. So if you see any of these that you might be interested, make sure again you do your due diligence and research those yourselves. But we'll touch on a couple of key things here. In fact, actually, let's go back. We're going to go to this section here. So these are my positions, and now we can kind of see how these did throughout the day. Starting off at the top with that CleanSpark. This is a stock I actually talked about way back, and this stock was at I can't even remember what price it was back then, but I've done really well actually with CleanSpark throughout the times. So this one did really well today. You guys can see it was up 25.79% and then another almost 5% after hours. That is a huge day. The ADXS right below that also had huge gains. Fuel Cell is one I've traded a lot in the past year. I think that one is actually going to come back very nicely. You guys might want to keep an eye on that one, add it to your watch list, but also up huge today. Tesla, I have a couple of shares of Tesla. It did amazing today with this being such a high price stock and, seeing a gain of 19.64%. That is huge. And then continued after hours. Those continuations after hours are a good sign, hopefully, for the next day to come. NIO, this is another one I would recommend that you guys maybe take a look at and see if it's something that you might be interested in adding to your portfolio. I know I like NIO. I think that it is a solid company and probably will continue to see some growth. It's also lost a fair amount. In fact, let's take a closer look at NIO. This is one of the ones I wanted to talk about. So This is after hours here. Let's scroll over. You can see I'm on the 5-minute chart. If you kind of look, in the upper right-hand corner here. But this was one of my better buys for the day. I did get right on this morning and tried to see what the market was going to do. And as I've mentioned again in previous videos, that's really the best time to do most of your trading is first thing in the morning. Usually, but it can be kind of an all day off and on thing. I actually had I worked today, and so I just kind of traded off and on throughout the day, but it was actually a pretty easy trading day from the standpoint of everything I bought into. None of my stop losses triggered really, except for I think one, and I added quite a few positions to my portfolio today. But in any case, you can see here that I bought in at NIO kind of first thing in the morning at that kind of down point, and then I got to take advantage of that entire climb up for the rest of the day. If we go to the 10-minute chart here, we can get a more full look at the whole day, but that's really how that looked. So that's kind of almost like your ideal buy-in day, for example. That's how you want your day to go. You buy in the morning like that, and then it climbs all day long. And that's actually relatively common too. So those are things you want to watch for. Another thing to note, you guys can see where my positions are. You can see how I set my stop loss. As you notice, I set my stop loss at that, just below that low point. So, anytime you see that support line, basically, or that support even for the day or the morning, good chance it won't drop below that. That's what your hope. And if it does, it's probably going to keep dropping. So you'll be lucky that your stop loss triggered and, put you out of that position. Let's go back. And there's another one I want to talk about. In fact, actually, it was CleanSpark, but let's come back to that because I want you guys to be able to take a look at these. I'm just going to kind of scroll through them. I'm not going to touch on any other ones other than CleanSpark, but I want to show you what happened with CleanSpark today. I like all of these stocks for some reason. So again, I think that you guys might want to take a look at them and see if you want to add any of them to your portfolios or just add them to your watch list and keep an eye on them and see if it's something you like. All right, let's go back up to CleanSpark here. And this one, is another, this is not how I usually like to buy, but this is a good demonstration of, what you can do, if you're trying to get into something that you think is going to still continue to climb and that sort of thing. But let's just look at the whole day here because I want to show you how this happened. So I added quite a few positions today. You have so much time, and I really got, pretty much most of them added more or less first thing in the morning, captured that good beginning market price. But this is one that I was having my eye on all day, and I saw it was, having some huge gains. As you can see, if we kind of look over in this area here, you can kind of see that percentage. It says plus 16.38%. So, I didn't even buy into this until it was, around that percentage up, which is already huge. And you can kind of expect that it's not going to continue much past that, or it might drop. So, in any case, again, that's where that stop loss comes into play. As you guys can see, I kind of bought this at some supports. I waited for a little bit of a drop, and then I bought in at that $25.92, as you can see right there. And then, I kept that stop loss at a comfortable point at, $25.46. So, so if we kind of scroll over, you guys can see, let me see, there we go. So if you look here in between those settings, you can see the most I would have lost if that would have went down is that $9.20. So in my mind, hey, guess what? That is worth it. I like this stock. I think it's going to continue to do well. At least we can hope. And, and it did. So thankfully, I actually was able to make a decent amount off of buying that, even though it had already had huge gains. Not something I usually like to do, but again, just kind of watch for that. If you guys see something and you're in that position, go for it and just make sure you set those stop losses. I can't say it enough. But I really wanted to just talk on those two stocks, and I wanted to just, tell you guys, hey, keep an eye out for tomorrow and the next couple of days. Again, remember, a huge green day is great, and we, can hopefully expect this to continue to tomorrow, but we could very likely see a lot of this stuff just go back into red tomorrow. And I think tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through and change some of my stop losses so that I can capture some of my profits from the day, just in case they do decide to drop, and I can lock those profits in, and then I can buy right back into them if they do drop back down, in hopes, of course, that they're going to start rolling back up. But I just wanted to get that out there, guys. Hopefully this was under 10 minutes, and hopefully you guys were able to take something from this video. If you are looking at setting up an account still, I will put another link in the descriptions below, as I have been, so that you guys can get an account with some free stocks. I prefer Webull. Again, it's what I'm using here. If you guys have any questions about that, please let me know. Also, if you guys have any stocks that you like today, or are doing well, or are interested in, or if you want to ask me about any of the stocks in my portfolio, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.